Hello today! Speaking with a slight hangover. I've already done a couple of reviews today. Fucking head hurts a little bit, but oh well. Hair of the dog. We're having another drink. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about dogs. I've already done ex-girlfriend videos on previous videos, so here we go. We're going to talk about Fanboys today. You know, people that say, you know, you've owned a console or whatever, console, computer, say, you know, they're a big fan of the branding or whatever, so they stick with that kind of branding. Just say, for argument's sake, I don't know, Nintendo or something. Just say someone's bought the Nintendo, then they bought the Super Nintendo, so on, and they say, right, they're the best. But the problem is, they say it's the best, but have they ever played on a Sega Mega Drive? They probably ain't, because they're fanboys, they stick to the branding. I've seen it, like, people do videos about fanboys, you know, they get pissed off at fanboys, which is 100% correct. I mean, what gives them the right to say something else is crap, and they've never even played on it? They've never seen it, you know, they've never used it. You know, people with Sega Mega Drives of the world, they disagree because, you know, millions and millions units got sold. You know, it's brought joy to their, you know, joy to them. You know, I don't think it's crap. It can't be crap if they sold millions and millions of units, can they? Can they? The same vice versa, like Sega or something, whatever, you know. Argument's sake, Commodore or Amstrad or Sinclair. I noticed this with a lot of Commodore 64 users. You know, they always say, oh, the Commodore 64 was the best 8-bit computer. Well, no, it wasn't. It was one of the best, I do agree, because I owned a Commodore 64 and I thought it was a brilliant computer. But I'll have to say the Amstrad CPC was one of the best computers. I've owned that and I really liked it. They were both good computers in their own right, and I've said that before. As I say, I had the Amstrad CPC, was my first computer. Get my words right in a minute. The Amstrad CPC 464 was my first computer, and it was a brilliant machine. And I owned a Commodore 64 after that, because my mate back in the day, when I had my CPC 464, he had a Commodore 64, and I enjoyed playing on his Commodore 64. I think it was a good computer. You know, it's like everything. There was always some games that are better on the Commodore 64. There were some games that are better on the Amstrad CPC 464. Pardon me. But at the end of the day, it's not my way to judge what was better. Oh, because it's Commodore branding or Amstrad branding, don't mean the other one was crap. And also the Sinclair, yeah, Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Okay, I used it. It was one of the first computers I played on. I enjoyed playing on the Spectrum. Okay, it was one of the first like major 8-bit computers to be on the market. Not if you don't include the VIC-20 and things like that, but you know, it was a serious contender with the Commodore and the Amstrad. Okay, but it might have lacked the colour of the colour palette, but it wasn't a crap computer. I wouldn't say it was a crap computer. I mean, the millions and millions of units got sold. So people out there must have enjoyed it and they didn't think it was crap. So that's what annoys me. I just noticed that majority, I don't want to say all Commodore 64 users are bad, but they ain't. But I just tend to find, you know, on the groups I'm with, I don't know, I just tend to find that Commodore 64 users are more biased to every other 8-bit system. But there is also, you know, Amstrad users out there also say the same thing, saying about the Commodore 64, okay, it wasn't as good. But I have to disagree. I have to say both the Amstrad and the Commodore 64 were brilliant computers. They were my two best 8-bits. Well, because I spent more time using them. You know, I owned them both. There was a big part of the 80s for me, with the Commodore 64s, the early 90s as well. Yeah, I ain't got no right to judge what was the better machine, because I don't think there was a better machine. They were both good. And as I say, the ZX Spectrum, that was a good machine too. They was probably all good, but obviously the popularity, I mean the others, like the BBC, but I think the BBC was a bit older though. I don't know, the MSX, I didn't know a lot about the MSX, but I can't say it's crap. It weren't that popular, but you know, it ain't fair of me to say it was crap, because I didn't know nothing about the MSX or anything else. You can't say it's crap because, you know, it didn't, you know, you didn't have it, you didn't know its capabilities. That's the problem with the fanboys. They just they just think one-dimensionally. Oh, I'll stick with branding. Oh, yeah, everything else is crap. It's like, what pisses me off is like iPhone users, Apple particularly, because they're the most expensive, think they're the best. And all state fanboys. They probably ain't used any other phone, but you know, because it's Apple, Apple are the best, they stick to that. You think, well, have you used anything else? Well, don't need to. Apple's, you know, it's the most expensive phone. They don't fucking mean nothing. Apple's always had expensive items like the Mac. Doesn't say they're better, does it? I mean, the PC ain't really cheap, is it? I tend to stick to PCs, you know, because I know a lot more about them. I know really, I just started recently know more about because I started to build them. With a Macintosh, I've never used one because I do not want to. I have in the past I've never said an Apple Macintosh is shit. I just said I would never buy one because they're fucking overpriced. I've never said, I don't think I've ever said they're shit because I've never used one. I've only briefly used an iPhone, but I won't want an iPhone because I don't see the point of paying too much money over the odds for just a phone that's no different from my Android. It does the same things. It goes on you can use applications, whatever you want to do with it. It does, same as the iPhone does. Probably a little bit more, but who cares? At the end of the day, you just want to use it. You don't want to fucking, oh, I can do this, oh yeah, but I can do that. Are you gonna fucking use it? No. Fucking fanboys, oh, Apple, I'm not buying anything else but Apple. What's so special about Apple? Pardon me. Yeah, I thought I'd have my say in this fanboy bullshit. You know, as I said before, I see a lot of videos talking about fanboys and all this bullshit. I thought I'd have my say. I've got to have my say, if you like it or not. I've got to have my say. What else is there? Yeah, the consoles, also Xbox or PlayStation. You know, people say, oh, Xbox are better. Xbox are better. How do you know if they're better? Have you ever played on a PlayStation? Well, PlayStation was around before the Xbox anyway. I think the first Xbox was in competition with the PlayStation 2. It's not fair to say what one's better. It depends on what games are available on each system. I mean they both produce good graphics. They're both reasonably priced. Same with the 360 and the PlayStation 3. I went with the PlayStations because the first PlayStation I played on, I never owned one either, made me go for the PlayStation 2. So I stuck with PlayStations, but I'm not a fanboy. I'm not going to say Xbox is a shit because I don't know, because I've never played on an Xbox. I mean, they sold millions of units, so they can't be crap, can they? So it's not fair of me to say an Xbox is crap because it's not Sony, is it? I can't say it's shit because I've never used it. So what gives fucking fanboys the right to say something else is shit? Okay, they might have used it once or twice. Yeah, but that's not enough times. You've got to use it to appreciate it. I mean, at the end of the day, the game consoles, you can't really you can't program nothing on it. You just play games on them. I know the new PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, a lot more sophisticated now. You can do all sorts of things. Well, you can't program it all. You just use it as a media centre. You watch your films on it. You can do whatever you want, really. Connect it to your telly. You've got a little entertainment system. What one is the better machine? I do not know. I've not owned any of the machines, but preferably, if I was going to get one, I honestly probably go for the PlayStation 4, because I've used PlayStations, but I'm not going to say I'm not going for the Xbox One because it's shit. I can't say that. I don't know nothing about the Xbox One. So I put the only way is to play on one. You know, I'm not going to say it's shit because I know it isn't. I've seen demos and online about it, and it doesn't look shit at all. But you're going to get your fanboys. Oh, Xbox is better than PlayStation. Well, why is it better than PlayStation? You know, or vice versa. Why is the PlayStation better than the Xbox? Why is the Commodore 64 better than the Amstrad, or vice versa? Why is the iPhone better than Android? You tell me that. No one gives a reason. That's the problem. They just come up with fanboys. Oh, it's better, that's better, that's better. Prove it. Anyway, that's my rant of the day. I think I shouldn't be ranting with my fucking head. I shouldn't even be drinking, but oh well. I don't care. Do you really think I care? Nah. Anyway, you all have a good day. You take care of yourselves. Till next time, and goodbye.